Hello everybody and welcome back to my second episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Today, we are going to attempt to survive 50 days in Hardcore Minecraft, and you will find that I barely made it. To start off day 26, I quickly finished off the wheat farm, making everything ready to plant more wheat. I would need a lot of wheat to make bread, to breed more villagers, and to breed more cows. I quickly waterlogged the remaining bits of the wheat farm before replanting everything. There we go! The next step on my agenda was to get the iron farm up and going, so I quickly started removing the space needed for my iron farm. And suddenly, a creeper. That's just amazing. Don't you all love creepers as much as I do? Anyways, I started laying out the outskirts of the iron farm, when all of a sudden, my diamond shovel broke. I quickly headed up the hillside to go to my house and get the resources I needed to make a new diamond shovel, as well as for building the remaining bits of the iron farm. Diamond shovel crafted, and now I could finally start building my iron farm. I chose to go with a pretty simple design for this iron farm, and I was having ideas about expanding it into a two-way iron farm later on. So just put the chest down here, put the hoppers in there, start making the area for the villagers and the zombie. I make it a 2x3x3, make an entranceway for the zombie, place a boat so the zombie can fall in, some beds for the villagers, top it off with trapdoors, and then I make a staircase to transport my villagers to the farm. Start breaking some beds, placing villagers into the boats, making them ready for transportation. Then I start transporting my first villager. Then my second villager. And oh my god, what is this creeper doing here? It can potentially kill everything, but I took it out like a real man. Before I transported my third villager and another creeper approached me. I took it out with caution, or at least I tried to. But the spider annoyed me so much so that the creeper decided to explode. I then went back to continue transporting the villager, when all of a sudden another creeper decided to explode a big hole in my ground. And then his friend came and did the exact same thing. I finished off transporting the villagers, but there was still one villager that wouldn't go inside the hole. I finally got them inside and then closed off the whole sleeping area. Then I killed a lot of mobs because I was really pissed at them before removing the transportation hole. And another creeper exploded my farm. Luckily, I managed to trap a zombie from this explosion. I then put the lava where it's supposed to be, gathered some water, put the water out, and another creeper came and exploded my farm. I love creepers. Anyways, I finished off the farm, went inside, went downstairs to activate it through allowing the villagers to see the zombie. And as I went back up again, these motherfucking creepers. So I had to fix the farm once again, and then I took a little walk just to make sure that it was working before I went on to my next mission. I then replanted and harvested some wheat to make bread so that I could breed more villagers because I was gonna need them. I then headed off to the pillager outpost. Bleep, I got the ominous buffalo quite fast. I loosened the structure, and as I made my way back home, I stopped to gather some coal and iron. I would need coal to make more torches and fuel my furnaces until I got the lava farm up and running. Finished gathering all the coal, I went back home, picked up some more lanterns to make my house look even better. Then I breeded some more cows, gathered some iron, harvested some sugar cane. Gathered some bamboo. Before I started tearing down more houses. I gathered some lava to burn down the wood so I didn't have to chop it all. Set myself on fire, gathered some water to cover up the village house, and continued tearing down the village. Then I started making a staircase up to my house. It was beginning to annoy me quite much that I had to jump up the hill all the time when I was going between my house and the village. So I wanted to make a staircase so that I could more quickly enter the village from my house and the house from my village. As I finished laying the foundation for my staircase, I took the time to plant some flowers to mark the entrance to my house. I then finished off the enchanting table in my house. Before I started laying the outskirts for the second iron farm. I then went to melt some cobblestone to get stone so that I could craft stone bricks for my staircase. As the stone started melting finished, I gathered it, crafted it, and began building my staircase. I realized I miscalculated the foundation of the staircase just a little bit, so I had to adapt as I was building it. But in the end, you will find I think it turned out really nice. That should do it for now, so I will just finish with removing all of these dirt blocks to level the staircase alongside to the village. I'll finish the rest of the staircase later on. I decided to tear down another house before doing something that almost ended my hardcore world. Okay, so here I am drinking an ominous bottle. As you can tell, my armor is really low. I do have Prot 4 armor, but I don't have Unbreaking or Mending. Without any further ado, let's get to it. I want you to also notice that I actually forgot to bring any arrows. So I have to do this raid with a non-working bow. For later on, I also want you to know that my bow does not have power enchanted to it. It's simply a bow with flame and infinity. Anyways, the first few raids went okay, I guess. I slayed one wave, then the second wave. Nothing too crazy. On wave 3, yes, here I think it is. Obviously, sometimes when you do raids, you need to look for the pillagers or the raiders. So luckily I found this one hidden in a cave, took him out like a real man. Headed back up, ready for wave number 4. Here I get my first totem. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. Here I get my second totem. Feels better right now, man. And then, here we go. My helmet's break. The amount of damage you take now is gone. I get my third totem, and immediately after, this happens. Now we're back to 2 totems. I barely get away with 1 heart remaining. There we go again, second totem pop. Now I only got 1 totem left and my armor is just about to break. I head back home to gather some arrows and prepare for the fight. I create a new helmet, new boots, so that I'm more fit to fight. I then go back. I can't leave this raid. This is my world. This is my village. I need to finish this. So, until now, I have gotten 3 totems and popped 2. I have 1 totem left. It's so many mobs, so I go on to the village house and start taking them out one by one. At this point, my heart is racing. I'm taking so much damage, and suddenly, my third totem goes. Now, I have 0 totems in my inventory, meaning death equals instant death. I have to be smart. I tried taking them out from the distance and managed to do just that. Then, a Vindicator spawns and I get my 4th totem. I head to the water, I enable the totem, eat some food, and goes back. Trying to take them out in the distance with my bow. All of a sudden, a Vindicator walks into the lava, and I manage to pick up my 5th totem. Then, I pop my 4th totem, and we're now back to 1 totem. Then, I managed to gather my 6th totem. My 5th totem pops, and as I enable my 6th, it also pops immediately. I luckily and barely escaped. And as I finish off the Lost Witch, the raid is over. And I get the achievement, Hero of the Village. But we are back to start. We are back to scratch 1. I got 0 totems. My armor is broken. This was not how I intended for the raid to go. Anyways, I carry on. I get straight to dealing with villagers, trading paper for emeralds and experience, crafting new armor until I can get a new diamond armor, and I hop off the game. Now, as I get back on the game again, I'm still kind of frustrated about how the raid went. I lost all the totems, I lost my Prot 4 armor, my feather falling boots, and I was now back in iron armor. I decided not to pursue any more raids at the time and figured I should wait until I get new Prot 4 unbreaking mending armor. Instead, I decided to start laying the fundament for what was going to be my villager house. As you know, if you watched my previous video, the current villager house was never meant to be nothing else than a temporary villager house. As I finished the floor off, I realized how important it was for me to get my good armor back. I therefore decided to go mining for more diamonds instantly. Here's how it went. After getting the mining sickness, I hopped off the game. And as I got back on again, sadly, I had to continue. Let's get to it. As I finally had gathered enough diamonds, I could finally make my way back top. I instantly began crafting new diamond armor and equipped these on the spot. I hid my Feather Falling 4 diamond boots in one of my barrels before they nearly broke, so therefore I could still use the iron boots for a bit more. I then started gathering some more sugarcane to trade with villagers to get more experience and emeralds. I crafted some books and then some bookshelves to make more lecterns before I start re-rolling more villager trades. After a while, I finally got unbreaking. That's amazing. I then went to enchant some of my armor, and I got a pretty decent helmet. Put 3 respiration to unbreaking 3. I did to enchant some of my tools, and I went with efficiency 3 on my axe. I then made my way back to the village to start terraforming. I had a lot of terraforming to be done, so I thought it was best to get started. Let's see how this went. My idea for this base was to level most of it to a pretty equal ground so that I could make a more suitable village type. As I terraformed from the top of the location, I also began filling in the dirt in the lower places as well as in water holes, etc. I got stuck in some lava. I'm not gonna lie, I think I did a pretty decent job right here. It took me a decent amount of time also. As you can see, it's a lot of mining. But I was beginning to feel like I had to do this in several work sections. Though at this point, I started deciding that I would just finish off this last row of stone to equal things out before ending it for now. And here's how it turned out. That's a decent amount of work. I went to re-roll some more villagers straight after. And then I got mending. That is amazing. Come to Papa. I crafted an anvil and started applying the mending to my stuff immediately. Greeted some more villagers, hopped off the game for the day. As I got back on again, I immediately began trading more sticks and paper for emeralds and experience. At this time, I was mostly looking for the experience so that I could level up to put the mending to all my gear. I finished off trading with the villagers. I headed back to the pillager outpost to try and get another ominous bottle. I had to kill a lot of pillagers, run away from the place to let them respawn, go back, and kill even more pillagers this time. In other words, I was not that lucky this time. After a while, however, I finally got the pillager captain. After getting my ominous bottle, I headed straight home to gather the materials I needed to continue building the villager house. I firstly put some lava in the neighbor house to burn down the wood so I wouldn't have to chop everything. I then started laying out the walls, the floor, the size, made rooms for villagers, continued to tear down the neighbor house. I wanted it completely gone. I didn't want anything too big or too fancy, just the basic stuffs, just enough room for all the villagers that I needed. During the process, I tear down a little more from another house, trade a bit with the villagers, sort my materials in the chests. And when I finally started becoming done, I prepare some walls and transport it for the villagers. It took a while to transport all the villagers because I had so many under the ground. But after a while, I finally got all the villagers inside, gave them each their beds, before I started blocking off the ones that was already finished. The only organizing I chose to do was put the Fletchers at the right of one side, and then I wanted to have all the remaining librarian villagers around the house. I breeded a couple more villagers as I was going. I had to make sure that the librarians connected to their workstations so that none of the other villagers that didn't yet have any jobs took them from them. I then went outside to finish off destroying the temporary villager house and changing the stone blocks with dirt in the ground. I then decided to tear down the lost house before finishing off the cow pen, trading a bit with the villagers, and then I headed out to continue terraforming the area. I went to sleep so that the phantoms would stop bothering me before I woke up again and headed out to continue terraforming. I still had a lot of terraforming left to be done, and I wanted to do it a little here, a little there. I then had to change all the stone blocks in the ground from where I terraformed the previous part with dirt, because I could obviously not have the stone ground in my area. That's the ground done, and then I decided to just even out the wall face so that it would be more even. I then sorted my stuff before starting to build the house to my villager roof. I created some lanterns and placed around the building. I think it looks really good. Later on I might fix some windows, but for now I hopped off the game. And as I logged back on again, it was time to put that ominous bubble we got to use. I headed outside and instantly got met by a creeper that exploded a hole in my ground, but I quickly fixed it and drank that ominous bubble. I built the villagers inside to keep them more safe, and then the raid was in action. The first wave went pretty okay, and there is the last from the first wave. Second wave also went pretty darn well. Check these raiders out like a proper man. There we go with the lost pillager of wave 2. Wave 3 got stuck in between the mountains, so that went pretty smooth too. Wave 4, I got my first totem. Other than that, it went pretty okay. Took them out in the distance with the bow. And one remaining. Gotcha! It was time for wave number 5, and it's safe to say that things started to heat up. I managed to get my second totem and continued taking out the mobs. Then, final on. It was time for wave number 6, and I managed to get my third totem. Continued taking them out, beast by beast. I was starting to get the hang of it now. Then, all of a sudden, I managed to get Totem 4 and Totem 5 in my 6th raid. I finished off wave number 6 by killing this witch. As we head off into wave number 7, I'm beginning to get a good hang of this. I managed to get my 6th, 7th, and 8th totem during this final wave. Then we killed the last witch, and we managed to get the raid victory effect. Oh my goodness. Do you know what this means? Yeah, it means I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 totems for my next episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please smash that like button. And if you want to join me in the future to see if I can survive 75 days in hardcore Minecraft with these 8 totems, smash that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one. Void Slayer out.